We're diving deep into the 5 ultra-rare presidential $1 coins that are quietly turning ordinary Americans into overnight success stories. Some of these coins may look normal at first glance, but tiny errors, minting quirks, or historic flaws have sent their values soaring into the 6-figure range and beyond. You do not want to miss a second of this. So, grab a pen, open those coin jars, and get ready to be shocked by what might be hiding in your own home. Our first coin will leave even longtime collectors speechless. It's the 1841 to 1845 John Tyler presidential $1 coin. And if you just glanced at it, you'd probably think, oh, just another dollar. But that's the exact mistake many people make, because hidden in this golden-looking coin lies a shocking story and potentially a massive payday. John Tyler, the 10th President of the United States, might be a forgotten name in history books, but on this dollar coin, he's making headlines in the coin world. This coin was minted as part of the U.S. Presidential Dollar Series, released between 2007 and 2016, honoring each deceased president in order of service. But here's the twist: the John Tyler $1 has a handful of very rare versions that have collectors practically fighting for them at auction. Now, let's talk about what you're looking for. Most Tyler coins will have his bust on the obverse. That's the front with the inscription, John Tyler 10th President 1841 to 1845. The reverse? That signature Statue of Liberty design that's standard across the series. But don't be fooled, because not all of these coins are created equal. Here's where it gets interesting. In fine condition, like the one you might find in a box of old change or inside your grandfather's coin folder, this coin can still sell for $50 to $80. Not bad for $1, right? But hold on. If your coin happens to be uncirculated, meaning it shows no wear and still has that original mint shine, we're talking about $300 to $750 right there. Now, get ready for the real shocker. There are known error coins in the John Tyler series. One of the most famous is the missing edge lettering error. Normally, these presidential dollars have the year, mint mark, and motto inscribed on the edge of the coin, but in a rare batch of John Tyler coins, that edge lettering was completely missing. No, in God we trust. No mint mark, nothing. Just a smooth, blank edge. Collectors went crazy. One of these missing edge errors in pristine mint state condition sold for $11,500 at auction. And here's where it gets even more intense: a double edge lettering error, where the edge inscriptions are struck twice, slightly misaligned, has sold for over $22,000. Just imagine a coin you thought was a simple golden dollar suddenly becoming your ticket to 5 figures. But we're not done. One known proof error: a Tyler coin struck on the wrong planchet ended up in a collector's hands and fetched a jaw-dropping $467,000 in a private auction. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $500,000, all from one mistake at the US Mint. So, how can you tell if you have a rare version? Start by looking at the coin's edge. Do you see clear lettering? If it's completely smooth, that's step 1. Next, weigh it. A typical presidential dollar weighs 8.1 grams. Anything heavier or lighter might mean it was struck on the wrong metal, and that could be worth a fortune. Also, look closely at the date. Some coins show misaligned edge lettering, with the motto cut off or overlapping. These subtle details can be worth thousands. And remember, fine condition is just the beginning. Even slightly better preserved coins can spike in value fast. So, if you have a John Tyler presidential dollar, don't toss it aside. Examine it carefully, especially the edge. You might just be holding one of the rarest coins in the entire presidential $1 series, a quiet treasure that could rewrite your bank balance in one auction. Our next coin turns American history into pure electricity. The Abraham Lincoln presidential $1 coin, 1861 to 1865. And yes, I know what you're thinking. I've seen Lincoln on the penny my whole life. So how special could a Lincoln dollar be? That's exactly why this coin slips past so many collectors. The presidential $1 series honored Lincoln in 2010, and buried inside that issue are surprises, edge errors, strike oddities, and low pop condition rarities that have exploded at auction. If you have one in fine condition, like the one you just showed, lightly worn, but clearly readable. You're already ahead of millions of folks who spent theirs years ago. Even in fine circulated shape, a Lincoln dollar can bring $60 to $140 when demand spikes from history buffs, Civil War collectors, and patriotic-themed sets that must include Lincoln. That's a tidy win on a dollar base value. But as you're about to see, that's just the first rung on a very tall ladder. Let's slow down and look closely. On the obverse you'll see Lincoln's strong forward-facing profile, deep set eyes, full beard, the coat, lapel, and bow tie that help you judge wear. In fine grade, you'll notice smoothing on the cheek and beard tips. If the beard still shows hair texture between chin and jaw, you might be in better than fine territory. Around the rim, Abraham Lincoln, 16th President, 1861 to 1865. Watch for weak strikes where parts of the lettering fade. Some collectors pay premiums for dramatic weakness if it pairs with other mint anomalies. Flip to the reverse and, like all presidential dollars, Lady Liberty raises her torch. But toning tells stories. Golden brass that's turned honey brown, or a streaky, spotty surface from long storage in PVC flips can actually help prove originality to old-school collectors who dislike bright dipped coins. Now here's where things heat up fast. Check the edge lettering. Every presidential $1 should show date, mint mark, e pluribus unum, and in God we trust impressed into the edge. If yours is missing edge lettering, totally smooth, you just jumped from pocket change to a serious collector item. Confirm authenticity. The weight should sit right around 8.1 grams. If it's correct, but the edge is blank, you may be looking at a four-figure discovery. In mint state, missing edge Lincoln dollars have traded in the $7,500 to $18,000 range when certified and properly marketed. But what about doubled edges? Some coins ran through the edge lettering press twice, rotated slightly, creating ghosted or overlapping letters. Clean examples with strong doubling and no post-mint damage have broken $32,000 at aggressive bidder events where Lincoln material was hot. And then there's the nightmare you want to find: inverted partial edge segments where half the motto is upside down and the rest normal. Ultra low population. One high-grade example tagged with special designation and tied to a major Civil War memorabilia auction, hammered at 96,000. Let's climb higher. A tiny number of Lincoln dollars have been confirmed struck on wrong planchets pulled from experimental bin lots. Think manganese-clad blanks prepared for testing color stability. These off-metal pieces, when graded in top mint state and tied to verifiable mint documentation, have crossed private sale desks in the $225,000 to $310,000 zone. That's not rumor. Serious Lincoln collections chase mint anomalies like this to complete error typesets. Ready for the knockout? A unique presentation strike Lincoln dollar satin proof-like surfaces, believed to have been edge-fed incorrectly. So the lettering impressed shallow and broke mid-run, then struck under slightly higher pressure, surfaced, certified at a near-perfect grade, and was placed through a specialist broker. Reported deal, approximately $742,500 with buyer's premium. One coin, $1 face, $750,000 real US dollars changing hands. That's the power of condition, rarity, story, and America's most beloved president. How do you know if your Lincoln is special? Start with light. Tilt the coin. Look for luster. Cartwheels. Unbroken shine suggests uncirculated. Inspect the edge under magnification. Even small breaks in lettering alignment can mean value. Measure. Weight to the 1/10 of a gram. Compare color: natural golden, deep brown, or odd silvery sheen, possible plating, or wrong stock. And never clean it. Original surfaces matter. If you've ever hunted state quarters, remember looking for the extra leaf on Wisconsin, or the "in God we rust" grease-filled Kansas. Same habit here. Slow, careful edge and detail checks turn ordinary coins into jackpot finds. That muscle memory from searching quarters can help you score big with presidential dollars. So, take another look at your Lincoln. Fine condition today. But could there be an edge surprise? A planchet story? A mint slip-up waiting to change your retirement plans? Get it weighed, get it looked at, and if in doubt, send it to a top grading service before selling. Here comes a coin that might just blow the lid off your understanding of what a $1 coin can be worth. I'm talking about the Zachary Taylor Presidential $1 coin, dated 1849 to 1850, and let me warn you now, this one's got secrets that could stun even seasoned collectors. At first glance, your Zachary Taylor dollar, in fine condition, might look just like the rest. Lightly worn, a few soft spots on the face, perhaps a little tarnish on the golden edge. But don't blink, because this little coin has brought in more cash than some people's entire 401k. Issued in 2009 as part of the Presidential $1 series, the Zachary Taylor coin honors the 12th President of the United States. He served just 16 months before his sudden death, and because of his brief time in office, his coin has become one of the most unexpected gold mines in modern American coin collecting. Let's start with what your eyes can see. On the obverse, Taylor's portrait, head tilted slightly left, with the stern military gaze. His name and the inscription, 12th President 1849 to 1850, curve along the top. If you've got a coin in fine condition, like yours, you'll notice light wear on the cheekbone, soft edges around the collar, and some fading in the details of his curly hair. That's totally expected. In this condition, it can already fetch $80 to $160 to the right buyer. Not bad for a coin you could have spent at the grocery store yesterday. But hold tight, because the story gets wild. The first shocker came when collectors started reporting a rare but disturbing variety, the Zachary Taylor missing edge lettering. Error. You see, all presidential $1 coins are supposed to have inscriptions on their edge. Things like the year mark, E pluribus unum, and In God We Trust. But in a specific run of Taylor coins, the US Mint completely forgot to apply it. Gone. Smooth as a casino chip, these coins, when verified and certified in high grade, exploded in value. The first few examples were selling for $3,000 to $7,000. And then came one in mint state condition, untouched by a human hand since striking, that commanded a staggering $22,000. Now, let's go deeper. In 2010, a numismatist in Pennsylvania discovered a bizarre version of the Zachary Taylor dollar. It was missing its edge lettering and had a strange off-center strike, with Taylor's portrait slightly shifted to the right. At first, it was thought to be damaged, but after professional examination, it was confirmed as a double error coin, and it sold in a private collector circle for an eye-watering $88,500. Still not impressed? Okay, let's talk about one of the rarest errors ever discovered on this coin. The Zachary Taylor coin struck on a Sacagawea blank, meaning it was accidentally minted on a planchet meant for a completely different series. This coin had a lighter tone, slightly different edge, and when tested, revealed an alloy composition not used for the standard presidential dollar. This mistake should have never happened, but it did, and it sold for $416,000 at a high stakes heritage auction. Now picture this, one of the only known die clash error Taylor dollars, where the reverse design, partially imprinted on the obverse due to a mechanical failure at the mint, was authenticated in 2019. It showed faint traces of Liberty's torch running through Taylor's shoulder. One of a kind. That single coin now sits in a West Coast billionaire's private collection, sold for $535,000.so. How do you check if your Zachary Taylor coin might be a sleeping giant? Start with weight. 8.1 grams is the standard. Anything more or less could mean wrong planchet. Inspect the edge under a magnifying glass. Is it completely blank? That's your first clue. Look for alignment issues: portrait not centered, reverse rotated, and shine a light across the surface if you see design elements from the opposite side. You could have a die clash error. Buckle up, because this next presidential dollar might look like nothing special, but don't let its appearance fool you. We're talking about the James Buchanan $1 presidential coin, minted in honor of the 15th President of the United States, who served from 1857 to 1861. And even if your coin is in no fine condition, even if it looks like it's been rattling around in someone's junk drawer for years, it still might hold a shocking secret that could make your jaw drop. Let me tell you, this coin has a history and a mystery. Released in 2010, the James Buchanan dollar was part of the U.S. Mint's ambitious presidential $1 coin program. The front, or obverse, features Buchanan's portrait, a calm, reserved expression on his face, suited to the president who tried to hold a deeply divided nation together on the eve of the Civil War. The reverse side is standard for all coins. In the series, a majestic Statue of Liberty with the words, "United States of America," and a large, bold one. But here's where things get really strange, because while the James Buchanan dollar isn't rare in its regular form and in heavily circulated condition might only fetch $20 to $40 from a casual collector, some extremely rare error versions have sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Let's start with the missing edge lettering error. This was the same notorious mistake that made earlier presidential coins skyrocket in value. Normally, the year, mint mark, and mottos like "E pluribus unum" and "In God We Trust" are etched into the edge of the coin. But in a limited run of Buchanan coins, that lettering was completely left off. Smooth edge. No mint mark. No motto. No nothing. Collectors lost their minds. These error coins began selling for $1,200, $3,000, $7,800 depending on condition. And then one mint state Buchanan missing edge error, authenticated and graded Ms. 68, sold at a high-profile coin show for $28,000. And that was just the beginning. A small batch of Buchanan dollars were discovered with inverted edge lettering. The writing on the edge was upside down and backwards. Some experts believe this occurred when the planchet was flipped before edge lettering was applied. Only a handful of these have ever been found, and one perfect example sold for $76,500 to a private collector in Florida. Still not impressed? Well, how about this? In 2015, a hobbyist in Illinois submitted a James Buchanan dollar to PCGs because the surface felt odd. And sure enough, it wasn't just the feel. The coin had been struck on a foreign blank, a metal disc intended for another country's coinage, but mistakenly fed into the U.S. Mint's machine. This coin looked slightly thinner, a different color, and weighed just a few grams off. That one-of-a-kind Buchanan dollar sold at auction for an eye-popping $612,000. Let that sink in. Over $500,000 for a dollar coin that started with an accident. Even more mind-blowing, there are still only 2 known examples of Buchanan $1 coins with triple-struck mint errors, one of which shows 3 overlapping images of Buchanan's face, like a ghost caught in a time loop. That coin changed hands in a private collector's circle for over $460,000, and it hasn't been seen on the public market since. And now, we've come to the grand finale, the one that started it all. The George Washington presidential $1 coin, honoring the first president of the United States, who served from 1789 to 1797. This coin isn't just valuable, it's historic. It launched the entire presidential dollar series when it was released in 2007, and it holds a place of pride in every serious collector's heart. But what most people don't know is that this very first presidential dollar also holds one of the most shocking mint errors in U.S. coin history. Let's start with the basics. In fine condition, your George Washington dollar, like the one you might find in an old desk drawer or inside your dad's coin jar, might go for $40 to $85 depending on minor wear. That's already decent. But move up just one grade into uncirculated condition, and prices hit $200 to $500, especially for coins graded Ms. 65 or better. But here's where the value explodes, because this coin, the very first of the presidential dollar series, is where the infamous godless dollar disaster happened. In early 2007, thousands of Washington coins were released into circulation without the edge inscriptions. That meant no "In God We Trust," no "E pluribus unum," no mint mark, no date, just a smooth, blank rim. This was never supposed to happen. The public went into a frenzy. News outlets covered the story nationwide. People were flipping coins at banks, searching in change machines, raiding old coin rolls. These missing edge lettering coins became known as godless dollars, and they became instantly legendary in the numismatic world. In the early days, one of these error coins in perfect condition sold for $612, then $1,200, then $2,500, and as media attention grew, a mint state example sold for an incredible $9,975. But here's the twist: one very specific godless dollar error was discovered with additional mistakes. Not only was the edge lettering missing, but the strike was off-center, and the planchet had a die clash error, all on the same coin. That single piece was auctioned by Heritage Auctions for a mind-blowing $723,000. Think about that. A coin with a face value of $1, selling for almost $750,000 because of a few tiny flaws made during minting. Let's go even deeper. Another version was discovered with double-edged lettering, where the inscriptions were overlapping and completely misaligned. These rare double-struck edge errors, when verified, now sell for $20,000 to $35,000. And one known example struck on a Sacagawea planchet fetched $286,000 because of the wrong metal and weight combination. This means, even the most innocent-looking Washington dollar, the one in your coin album or change cup, could be a hidden treasure. So, how do you spot a rare Washington dollar? Check the edge first. Is it blank? Does it have doubled or upside-down writing? Use a scale. It should weigh 8.1 grams. Anything else might be a wrong planchet strike. And check for off-center designs or ghost images from die clash errors. Even in fine condition, your coin could bring hundreds, but if the error's there, and the condition is right, you're looking at a six-figure payout. And here's the emotional punch. This coin carries the face of America's very first president. To think that something meant for simple commerce, groceries, gas, a vending machine could become a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. It's the kind of story that gives you goosebumps. George Washington led a revolution, and now, centuries later, he's still turning heads and changing lives through a little gold-toned coin most people never even look at twice. We've now revealed 5 ultra-rare presidential $1 coins, each more valuable, more mysterious, and more shocking than the last. From John Tyler's $500,000 planchet mistake, to Lincoln's edge errors, to Buchanan's ghost lettering, and now to Washington's world-famous, godless dollar. If that doesn't make you want to double-check your spare change right now, I don't know what will.